everyone. Now in this lecture I am discussing with you chapter number 10, that is ratio and proportion. This chapter is segregated in three parts. One is ratio, one is proportion and one is unitary method. Now first is ratio. What is a ratio? When we want to compare two quantities which are having a similar nature. When we want to compare two quantities which are having similar nature, we are using ratio concept there. Just like marks of two students, okay, height of two students, weight and more things just like. Now see here, what is the ratio? It is a comparison of two quantities of similar nature. Here similar nature means we can't be compared to different quantities. Just like height of one student and weight of another student. Height of one student and weight of another student, we can't be compared. Okay, so always be careful. We are having a similar nature. Only in that situation we can compare these quantities and we can express in the form of ratio. How do we express in the form of ratio? See here, it is denoted by A is to B. Just A is a quantity and B is another quantity. In that situation, we are putting here this two dots. So, how do we read it? A is to B. Yes. How do we read? A is to B. For these dots, we have pronounced A is to B. Now, ratio can be write as fraction and vice versa. Yes, ratio can be represented in the form of fraction also. Just like if we are speaking, ratio is 2 is to 3. Okay, so in that situation we can write this 2 is to 3 as 2 upon 3 also. So ratio can be represented in the form of fraction and vice versa means the fraction also can be represented in the form of ratio. Just any fraction is written 4 upon 5. So you can convert and you can write that one as 4 is to 5. Got it? Now next is what? Ratio expressed in their simplest form. Just always we are writing fraction in their simplest form. Same like here, we write the ratio in their simplest form. Just simplest form means 2 is to 3. 2 and 3 have no common factor. Yes, the HCF of both the terms of ratio is 1. 2 is to 3. So no common factor here between 2 and 3. 4 is to 5. These are also simplest form. This is also simplest form. Why? Because 4 and 5 not having any common factor other than 1. So you can see that the HCF of A and B is 1 there. A and B are what? These are the terms of ratio. Okay. And how many terms we have in the ratio? We have two terms in the ratio. A is to B. This is your first term and this is your second term. The first term of ratio is known as antecedent and the second term of the ratio is known as consequent. Again I am repeating, the first term of the ratio is known as antecedent and the second term of ratio is known as consequent. Now this is about basics of ratios. Ratio we are using for comparing two quantities. Ratio have two terms. First term is known as antecedent, second term is known as consequent. Ratio can be written in the form of fraction and fraction can be written in the form of ratio. So listen here bacha, ratio can be written in the form of fraction. It means we can use only positive integers here. We can use only positive integers and whole numbers here because fraction includes whole numbers. So at the time of representing ratio, we can't use any negative numbers there. Okay. Let's see the example. Now, the information given to you, the total number of students in a school is 80. The number of girls in a school is 45. And you need to find and you need to express the ratio of total students to boys. Total student to boys. Now, be careful. Whatever information given in the question, firstly write that. Just here writing total number of students is 80 and number of girls is 45. Okay. So how do we find the number of boys? Total student minus the number of girls is equals to number of boys. So here we are writing the number of boys in a school is 80 minus 45. That is 35. Okay. So 35 are boys in a school, 45 girls and 80 total number of students. Now we can find each and every type of ratio here. Just one example, ratio of total student. Total student firstly written. So whatever information first given, we are putting that one first, please, as an antecedent of the term of ratio. Total student. Next is, this is total student we are writing here, is to. Ratio symbol, okay. 2 boys. So here we are writing number of boys. Number of boys. Okay. Now, what is the total number of students? 80. And number of boys we have calculated already. That is 35. So now, this is your ratio. But you know very well, it is not the simplest form. So, it is not a final answer. We express in the form of ratio, always we are writing in the simplest form. Here cut it. How do we convert into the simplest form? Everyone see here. How do you can cut in the simplest form? Lowest term. By dividing both the terms of ratio, dividing by the same number. Yes, just if you are dividing it by table of 5, so it is also, this term also need to divide by 4. It is divided by 5, so that is also divided by 5. Now you can see here 0 and 5, so both can be divided by 5. 80 divided by 5 and 30 divided by 5. Yes. Now what is the answer? 5 was a 5 and 3 is remaining, 5 6 are 30. And here 5 7s are 35. So you can see here 16 is to 7. 16 is to 7. Both are the co-prime numbers, no common factor between them. It means these are what? Yes, simplest, it is the simplest form of ratio. 16 is to 7. So what is the ratio of total student to number of boys? 16 is to 7. The same question and so many ratios you can find. Just like you can see here. If I am asking you, what is the ratio of girls and boys? So you can speak easily. Girls ratio boys is equals to 45 is to 35. Yes? And you can cut by table of 5. 5 9s are 45 and 5 7s are 35. So 9 is to 7 is the ratio of girls and boys. But at the similar time, if I am asking what is the ratio of girls and total students in the class, at that situation you need to be right. The girls is to total student. And how many girls in the class? 45 girls in the class. And how many total students in the class? 80 students in the class. So now you can simplify it. When you simplify, you got it your answer here. 9 is to 16. 5 9s are 45 and 5 1s are 5, 5 6 are 30. So 9 is to 16 is the ratio of number of girls and total students. So in this way, by the using the same information, you can form so many ratios. Okay. Now, next concept is equivalent ratio. Yes, what is equivalent ratios? Both the terms of ratio, if you are multiplying or divide by the same number, you get their equivalent ratio of that given ratio. Just in equivalent fraction, we are finding the numerator and denominator of a fraction is multiplying or divide by the same number. Same concept we are using here. See, just the ratio is 3 is to 7. What is the ratio? 3 is to 7 is the ratio. You want to find the equivalent ratios. You can find easily. Just both the terms are multiplying with the same number. If you are multiplying this by 2, it is necessary this 7 is also multiplied by 2 there. Okay. Now, what is your new ratio? That is 3 is to 2, 6 and 7 is to 2. 7 multiplied by 2. That is 40. Yes. 3 multiplied by 2 is 6 and 7 multiplied by 2 is 40. So this is your new ratio and you can say this is your equivalent ratio. Now ratio always expressed in the form of simplest form. So This is not a simplest form. But we are finding the equivalent ratios. So equivalent ratios are not in simplest form. If you are simplifying, again you get this question as answer. Okay. Now you can. It is not necessary always you multiply 2. You can multiply by 3. You can multiply by 10. You can multiply by 20, 1000, 100. This is your choice. Which number you are taking. But it is necessary. If first term is multiplied by 2, the second term is also multiplied by 2 there. Okay. Now next is another example. 25 is to 100. Just for finding the equivalent ratios, we are multiplying here the same number. We can divide also. Yes. For finding the equivalent ratio, we can divide the two terms of the ratio by the same number. To see here, 25 is first term, 100 is another term. You want to find the equivalent of this. How do you do it? How do you can do it? See, you can divide this 25 and 100 by the same number. Yes, 25 is divided by 25 and is to 100 is divided by 25. You know very well 100 and 25 both comes in the table of 25, so we are dividing by both. Then, okay. Now, if we can divide it by 5 also. Yes, you can divide by 5 also. You can divide by 5 also. Okay, bachcha here. Now, I am dividing here by 25 both the terms. So 25 divided by 25 is 1 and 100 divided by 25 is what? 4. So in this situation you can see here what is your equivalent ratio. Your equivalent ratio is 1:4. But in this question you can see it is the simplest form also and this is the equivalent ratio also. Okay. This is the simplest form of 25 is to 100 also and it is the equivalent ratio also. Okay. Now see this question. 3 upon 7 is equals to 15 upon x. This type of questions you see in the chapter number 7, fraction also. Yes. How do you solve this question? By using the cross multiplication also you can solve, and by using the fraction concept also you can solve it. Just 3 upon 7. Okay. And now here is written 15 upon x. Missing term is here. Now you can see and find your answer. By which number you multiply this 3, you get 15. Yes, 5. So 3 5s are 15. And equivalent concept is same. The numerator and denominator both multiply by the same number. So here, if we are multiplying this 3 by 5, so this 7 is also multiplied with this 5. Okay. So now what is our answer? 35 is our answer. What is our answer? 35. We can solve by the cross multiplication method also. That cross multiplication I explained at the time of comparison of fractions. Yes, how? Let's see. At the time of cross multiplication, we need to write in this formation firstly both the fractions. Yes, these are the fractions, but if they are given in the form of ratio, firstly you need to convert in this way and then we'll find it this way. Just how? If 3 is to 7 equal 15 is to x is written. Okay. So in this situation, this term is missing here and ratio can be written in the form of fraction. So firstly you need to convert in the form of fraction and then will you do by using the cross multiplication method. At the time of cross multiplication, numerator as it is on their places. Okay. Denominator comes to the numerator. Just 3 is here. This x is the denominator. This comes here and this 15 as it is at their place. And this 7 moves there. Okay. When this 7 is moved there, you can see in this formation you get your step. Now, how do you can solve it? X is equals to, you can write 15 multiplied by 7 upon 3. And this is 3 5s are 15. Yes. So this, what is your answer? Answer is x is equals to, you can see here 5 into 7. And 5 into 7 is 35. So in this way, you can find your answers of any missing term in the ratio. Let us start the new topic, that is ratio of two quantities in the same unit. Yes, we can form the ratio easily if I am telling one student get 12 marks and one student get 8 marks. Yes, in that situation you can easily write 12 is to 8, and if you simplify that you get 3 is to 2. Easy going. Yes, but if you are not having similar nature of units, similar kind of units, you need to convert in the same unit firstly. So firstly you need to convert the units having the same nature, and then you can express in the form of ratio. How? Let's see here. Just rupees and paisa is given. So we need to convert into the paisa. Yes, in the smaller unit we need to convert. If years and week is given, we need to convert into the week. If dozen and gross is given, here this is a different concept I will tell you. Listen, just centimeter and meter is given. You need to convert into the centimeter. Milliliter and liter is given. You need to convert into milliliter. So in this way, firstly you need to convert this one and then this one. Let's start examples. 2 rupees to 6 paisa. How do you can express in the form of ratio? Firstly you need to write this rupees 2 in the form of paisa. Yes. 1 rupee is equals to 100 paisa. Yes, 1 rupee is equals to 100 paise. So you can write this 2 rupees is equals to 200 paise. Yes. And this 6 paisa as it is. This is 6 paisa and this is 200 paisa. Now we can compare because both are having the same unit. Yes. So when you write in the form of ratio, be careful. At the place of rupees 2, you need to be write yes 200, and ratio sign you need to be mentioned and then write 6. Now see, here I am not using paisa unit. Why? Because at the time of expressing in the form of ratio, we are not writing units with them. Yes. Now next we need to simplify it because ratio always write in the simplest form. So here you need to cut it. 2 ones are 2, 0 and 0, and 2 3s are 6. 100 is to 3 is the simplest form of this ratio. This is a ratio of rupees 2 to 6 paisa. Got it? Now let's see the one more example here. The example is 1 year is to 4 week. 1 year to 4 week. How do you write this? You know very well 1 year is equals to 52 weeks. So 1 year is equals to 52 weeks. So at the place of this 1 year you can write 52. How much you can write? 52. And at the place of 4 week, 4. Got it? So this is the express in the form of ratio. We need to simplify it. 4 ones are 4 here and here 4 ones are 4, 4 3s are 12. So 13 is to 1 is the ratio of 1 year to 4 week. The next one is 6 dozen to 2 gross. 6 dozen to 2 gross. Now these are the new units for you. Let's understand how many items and how many quantum you have in this. 1 dozen is equals to 12 items. Yes. In 1 dozen you have 12 quantities. 12 number of items. And in 1 gross you have 144 items. Let's see how do we solve this. Just I am telling you 1 dozen is equals to how many items? 12 items. So here 6 dozen is written. See what is written here? 6 dozen. So 6 dozen is equals to, yes, 6 dozen is equals to 12 into 6, and that is 72. Got it? Next is 2 gross. 2 gross. You know very well 1 gross is equals to 144 items. Everyone, if this one is new for you, listen to me. 1 gross is equals to 144 items. Yes. So if 1 gross 144 item, 2 gross is equals to how many items? 2 gross is equals to 144 multiplied by 2, that is 288. Got it? Got it everyone? So firstly we are converting both the units in each number of items. So here we are getting 72 and here we are getting now I am writing here. See, 18 is to 72. If you learn the table of 18, you can directly cut it. 18 ones are 18 and 18 fours are 72. 18 ones are 18 and 18 fours are 72. So 1 is to 4 is the ratio of 6 dozen to 2 glass. Got it? In this way, you can write or express the given information in the form of ratio. But be careful, firstly we need to convert into the same unit. At the time of conversion of units, we are always converting into the smaller units. So no need of problem of calculation there. Okay. The next example is comparison of ratios. Yes. When two ratios are given you and you want to compare these ratios, which one is a greater ratio, which one is the smaller ratio? How do you can compare it? You can compare. You use two methods here. One is cross multiplication method and one is LCM method. Yes, you are thinking correct. Just in the fraction chapter we are doing. Ratio can be expressed in the form of fraction, and after getting fraction you can compare easily. Just see, 5 is to 6 you can write 5 upon 6 and 3 is to 4 you can write 3 upon 4. Okay, I am explaining here method number 1, that is cross multiplication method. At the time of cross multiplication, numerator as it is on their places. Yes. This time as it is on their place, numerator always on their places and denominator comes to the numerator. So this 4 is multiplying here and this 6 is multiplying with 3. Got it? Now 4 5s are 20 and 5 4s are 20. You can say anyone. And 3 3s are 9. Which side is greater? This side is greater. You can see this side is greater. This side you have the greater number. It means this side fraction is greater, and you can see this side ratio is greater. Okay. So what is your answer? 5 is to 6 is the greater ratio than 3 is to 4. Got it? In this way, you can compare by using the cross multiplication method. The next one is LCM method. Yes. In LCM method, again, firstly we need to express in the form of fraction 5 upon 6 and 3 upon 4. Okay. We need to take the LCM of the 6 and this 4. We need to take the LCM of 6 and 4. What is the LCM of 6 and 4? Yes. 12 is the LCM. So LCM of 6 and 4 is equals to 12. You can, because these are the small units, so you can easily orally calculate it. If you are not calculating order, you can use the chapter number 3 power method there. 6 you can write 2 into 3 and 4 you can write 2 power 2. And LCM, you need to take the LCM. So what is the LCM? 2 power 2 multiplied by 3, that is 4 multiplied by 3 is equals to 12. Okay. Now LCM of 6 and 4 is equals to 12. Now, see here, after taking the LCM, we are writing the LCM as a common denominator, yes, as a new denominator. And LCM is divided by denominator multiplied with the respective numerator. 12 is divided by 6, 12 divided by 6, 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. 12 divided by 4, 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. So which side is greater? This side is a greater. So this side fraction is a greater and this side ratio is greater. So 5 is to 6 is greater than 3 is to 4. So these are two methods of comparison. This is also easy method and this is also, but if you are going by this, less time consuming for you. Okay, so this is about the comparison of ratio and how do you express in the ratio if two different quantities, two different units are given to you. Let us start the new topic, that is divide the given quantity in the ratios. Yes, where we use in daily life this concept. Let's see the example. Just like if mama is preparing tea. At the time of preparing tea, you know very well, two elements are most important. One is milk and one is water. One is milk and one is water. Okay. I am assuming always for making This is the ratio. Okay. Not always 3 cup of tea. You can take any cup of tea. 2:1 ratio. It means whatever taking water, the twice of that milk is putting there. Okay. So this is what the ratio of milk and water we are using at the time of preparing tea. This is the ratio of that. So 2:1 is the ratio. But we are not speaking ki 2 milk we are taking, 1 water we are taking. How do we speak? Which portion of milk and water you are taking at the time of preparing tea? So we can speak in this way: 2/3 and 1/3. 2/3 part is milk and 1/3 part is water. Now how to this 3 is coming? Let's see. Bacha, 2 part is milk and 1 part is water. It means total how much is there? 3. Whatever tea you have, that tea is divided into 3 parts because we want 2 parts of milk there and 1 part of water there. So total how much parts in the tea? 3 parts. Okay. And you can speak 2 portion, so 2/3. In 1 cup of tea, 2/3 portion of milk and 1/3 portion of water is there. Okay. So sum of the ratios, 2 plus 1 is 3, and where we are getting this 3, we are putting in the denominator and speaking 2/3 and 1/3. 2/3 and 1/3. Okay. So this 2/3, this is not 2/1. 2/3 means this is a portion of milk in the tea, and this 1/3 means this is a portion of water in the tea. Got it? So this is the ratio concept where we are dividing the given quantum, just 1 cup of tea, into the 2:1. If you want to divide it, the 2:3 part of milk and 1/3 part of water is there. Okay, that one more example I am giving about this concept. Divide 80 between A and B in 3:5 ratio. Okay, you want to divide this 80 between A and B in which ratio? 3:5. In which ratio? 3:5. For dividing, it is very necessary. You want to know what is the portion of A and what is the portion of B in this 80. Yes, 3:5 is the ratio. 3:5 is the ratio. We need to find firstly the portion of A and B. Let's see. A/B is 3:5. Okay. After that, we need to find the sum of ratios. Sum of ratio. How do we find sum of ratio? 3 plus 5, 8. So 3 plus 5 is equals to 8 is your. So total 8 parts we have. Okay, this 80. Firstly, we are dividing into total 8 parts. Then we multiply by 3 and 5 respectively. Just see here how. For the A, total how much we have? 80. We want to divide this 80. We want to divide this 80 between A and B in the 3:5 ratio. Okay. What is the portion of A? What is the portion of A? You can speak the portion of A is 3/8. 3/8. In this 80, the portion of A is 3/8, 3/8. Okay. Now, what is the portion of B? The portion of B is 5/8, 5/8 part of them. Or we are multiplying with this fraction part. This fractional part, if we are multiplying by the total, we get the part of A. Just like 8 is divided by 80 10 times, and that we get 30 here. So answer is what? 30. And B, 8 is divided by 80. 80 divided by 8, 10. 10 multiplied by 5 is 50. So you can see here the 30. A got 30, B got 50. And if you recheck your answer, you can write in the form of ratio again. And if you are writing in the form of ratio, you get 30:50. And if you simplify 3:5, it means your answer is correct here. Got it, everyone? Again, I am speaking here. How do you solve? Firstly, you need to calculate the portion of A and B, both the ratios. Yes, portion of both the ratios. This is ratios, and then we put in the denominator. We got 3 upon 8 and 5 upon 8 as a portion, and that portion, that fraction part of both the terms of ratio, is multiplied